Hello, everyone out there in Rumble X and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And we're going to continue to talk about The Housemaid from last year, December of last year. Made a lot of money. There's going to be more Housemaid movies now. Even though my respect for what's her name, Sydney Sweeney, has really gone down. She's trying to capture the female market. She's trying to capture women, to look at her like the way. Remember how women used to look at Megan Fox back in 2007, when she was in Transformers and all that. Remember how women wanted to look like her and be like her and all that kind of stuff. That's what Sydney Sweeney's trying to do. She's trying to capture the young women, especially the ones with big bow ties, to try to be like her, dress like her, act like her, vote the way she does politically, all that kind of stuff. I've lost a lot of respect for her just because, I think she could do better with men. I think that, if she were to make a movie for men, I think men would go see it. And I'm not talking about something like Madam Web. Nobody wanted to see that crap. I mean, something that was geared towards men. Instead of just showing how strong and empowered she is, because that's all she does in all of her movies. I'm strong, tough, empowered women who don't need no man. How about you make a movie where you do need a man? How about that? Because, Hollywood doesn't want to tell you this, but everyone needs somebody. Everyone, okay? Every man needs somebody. Every woman needs somebody, okay? It's just a part of human nature. It's a part of what we are. No one's meant to live this roller coaster of a life alone, to ride it alone. Not at all, And Hollywood knows that. And they use that to sell you movie tickets. They use that to get you to watch their TV shows. These basic human instincts that we have. And I just think that, with Sydney Sweeney being as attractive as she is, and let's face it, she ain't going to be this attractive forever. Okay, I give her another 5 years at most. Okay, and she's going to get replaced by another attractive girl. All right, the only reason she's where she's right now is because she's young. Right, but eventually she's going to get replaced. Everyone does. Excuse me. Not everyone has staying power. Okay, and let's face it, Sydney Sweeney's not known for her looks. I mean, she is known for her looks. She's not known for her acting. Okay, she really brings nothing else to the table other than her looks. Okay, and there's only so far you can go with that. Eventually, looks don't last. You get older. Happens to everybody. And then I'm just afraid she's going to go the route that all the women in Hollywood do. They start getting injections in their face. They get plastic surgery. I mean, they start looking like crap. And it's so sad because I know you young kids don't understand this, okay? But I'm older, okay? I'm a Gen Xer, okay? People my age, we remember what it was like, okay? When Nicole Kidman was hot, when Melanie Griffith was hot, okay? We remember when Cher looked good, okay? When Madonna looked incredible, okay? We remember these women in their prime, Goldie Hawn. Okay, these women were gorgeous back in the day. I mean, they were, and it was natural. It was a natural beauty. Okay, even someone like Julianne Moore or something, or Annette Bening. Okay, I mean, back in the late '80s, early '90s, man, they were hot. They were legitimately great-looking women. Okay, they were icons for other women. Okay, women wanted to look like them. They wanted to be like them. They wanted to act like them. Okay. Dress like them, all that kind of stuff, Courtney Cox, the Friends. That show molded the entire Gen X women, white women, that is, okay? It was molded by Friends, okay? I mean, they were the Kardashians of the 90s, okay? So, yes, there was a time when these women were incredible, and now you look at them. Now, some of them still are. For her age, Winona Ryder looks good, and for her age, Michelle Pfeiffer looks good. For her age, she's a very beautiful 60-something-year-old. Okay, Winona Ryder, very beautiful 50-year-old. Okay, So I mean, they did it the right way. Okay, I don't think Michelle Pfeiffer's had anything done. Okay. They're not the ones I'm talking about. I'm talking about the majority of the women, okay? The ones that just screw up their face. Look at what Megan Fox did. Megan Fox screwed up her face at 30 years old. And what the hell? And you see that. Okay, you see that these women don't want to let go of their youth. And I understand that it's not just self-esteem. A lot of it is their career. In order to be a leading lady, you got to be good looking. I get it. Okay. And not everybody ages well. I mean, look at Catherine Zeta-Jones. She don't look that great anymore. But I remember when I saw her in Zorro. But that was like 1997. My God, that was 29 years ago. Shit. Anyway, she looked incredible in that movie. Incredible. Look at her now. I mean, age hits everybody. Okay, every woman hits the wall eventually. And that's why I'm always preaching about, like, hey, listen, when you're young and hot, you think that the whole world revolves around you because you've got the highest value men are all trying to get your attention. People are buying you drinks like crazy. They're asking you out all the time. Okay, if you were to flirt with any like good looking guy in a bar or something, that guy would definitely take you back to his place. Absolutely. You have your pick. Okay? Very few men are going to reject a woman, okay, when she's beautiful and young. 18, 19, 20, 23, around there. Those are the prime years, okay? Okay, if she's gorgeous, okay, then, she's going to get whatever guy she wants. Okay, men are going to cheat on their wives for her, okay? They're going to cheat on their girlfriends for her, okay? High value men are going to, she's going to go up to them and they're going to, whoa, absolutely, whatever you want. They're going to buy you drinks. If they have the money, well then, they'd have to have the money to be high value. Okay, they're going to take you places. They're going to get you into clubs. Okay, they're going to buy you expensive gifts. They're going to fly you around the world. They're going to do all that stuff for you when you're young and beautiful. Okay, and these women think, oh my God, this is going to last forever. I can basically get any man to do whatever I want. I can get a guy right now to pay all my bills and I don't even have to fuck him. Ain't being a woman awesome? Feminism, all that kind of stuff. Okay, but then here's the problem with that is a lot of women can't control themselves. Okay, what happens? They end up getting pregnant. Okay, now I know that in America the number one thing to do is just to get rid of the baby. Okay, because my body, my choice, right? Of course, the baby inside you is not. No one asked the baby whether they had to choose or not, if they wanted to live or die. But anyway, that's the thing, and of course the men have no say in that. All right, so there's that. Okay, so that gets rid of the problem pretty easily. Okay, but then the other thing is, feminism tells you to play the field. Just date a bunch of guys, man. Don't settle down. You're young. Don't worry about settling down. Come on, life's a party. You gotta enjoy it. You're gonna miss out if you settle down too fast. You're gonna miss out. So what happens? You just jump right the cock carousel, just like they did in Sex and the City. But in Sex and the City, those women are all in their 30s and 40s. Okay, but that show was telling women that even in your 30s and even in middle age, you should still ride the cock carousel and party, and get drunk with your girlfriends and fuck all the hot guys you want, because eventually some high value man is going to want to wife you up. Okay, you see what I mean? So Second City was even promoting that, but they're promoting that for women that are older. Okay, I'm talking about the women that are young, like Sydney Sweeney. I think she's still in her 20s. Okay, like those young women, they're being told, hey, ride the cock carousel, have fun, don't settle down. It's your life, your money. You can do whatever you want. Okay, but here's the problem with that is eventually, it has an expiration date, and no chick flick's gonna tell you this. This movie ain't gonna tell you. No talk show, no Call Me Daddy podcast. Okay, no feministic actress or director. None of them are gonna tell you this stuff. Okay, that's why I'm here. I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I got nothing to gain by lying to you. Okay, I'm gonna give you a straight man's point of view. That's what I do here. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what your boyfriend, your husband, your dad ain't gonna tell you. Okay, because I got nothing to gain by lying to you. Okay, and the bottom line is, ladies. Okay, now I'm not saying that men we're all perfect. No, we've got our own set of problems. I'm not talking about our problems right now. Like, I'm talking about your problems right now that a lot of you women don't want to accept, and these movies and TV shows do not want to tell you. Neither do the books. Okay, the publishing industry is run by women. Okay, they're the gatekeepers of what books get published. Okay, they are the gatekeepers of what books get published. Okay, and they don't want to tell you the truth, like I'm telling you right now. Okay, you have an expiration date. Okay, eventually the high value men are going to go towards the women that are younger, and prettier, what you used to be. Okay, now all of a sudden the phone ain't going to ring that much anymore. Okay, now all of a sudden, the dating apps, you're not going to get as many swipes anymore. And it's going to happen slowly, but it's going to happen. And then what are you going to do? What high value man? Because you still think you're high value. You still think that you deserve a high value man. That's what all the movies tell you. You're a queen. You are a queen. Even at 38, you are a queen. Okay, well, you know what? When everyone is a queen, no one is. Okay? No one is. And why would a guy who's 38, you know, and has got money, good looking, everything, you know, culture, intelligent, smart, successful, all those things, great in bed, looks good, why would he want to be with a fucking 38-year-old when he can be with a 21-year-old who is going to eat his asshole if he told her to? You see what I mean? Why would he be with you? What would he get from being with you? What, your feminism lectures? What's he going to get? What do you bring to the table now? You're too fucking old to give him a kid. Okay? What, your money? You're successful? Okay, you wouldn't even be attracted to this guy if he didn't make more money than you. Who do you think? Are you going to pay for the dates? Get the fuck out of here. Now, I know women, a lot of middle-aged women, I know them, and I used to be that guy, okay? I used to be that guy, okay? A lot of older women, you know, when I was younger, okay, a lot of older women, they're like, well, if men can do it, I can do it too. And you see that all the time. Look at Madonna and Cher. They're dating men that are less than half their age, okay? You know, and that's considered a flex. Look at Jessica Alba. She's dating a hockey player who I think is like in his 20s. And she's like in her 40s. Okay, you know, stuff like that, you know, and that's being paraded around as the new thing. Like, absolutely, girl, you go get yours. Get your young hot stud, your cougar. You know, all that stuff. You know, that's being promoted as something good. But there's a difference, okay? Typically, okay, when a woman is dating a man that's younger, guess who's paying the check at the restaurant? It's her. Guess who's paying for that hotel room? It's her. Okay? Guess who's paying for that vacation? It's her. Okay? Now, how is that a flex? You're basically paying a young, attractive man to be with you. And that's just assuming that the guy is straight, okay? There's plenty of cases where women ended up with gay guys who took them for their money. Like Martha Ray, there's one. Vivian Vance, you know who that is? That was the woman who was on I Love Lucy with Lucille Ball. There's another one, okay? Even Judy Garland. Okay, yes, Judy Garland. And Liza Minnelli as well. They married younger guys that were gay, that were using them for money. They were these were young, attractive gay men who were having sex with these older, middle-aged women for their money. For their money. Okay, they were being used. Absolutely. And that's the part that these women don't want you to know about. They don't want to tell you about that. Okay, because you watch Sex and the City and you thought, oh, remember that guy Smith Jarrett on Sex and the City? Remember him? And the only reason I know Sex and the City, I reviewed every freaking episode of Sex and the City. It's on this channel, if you don't believe me. Every single episode and the movies. And the piece of crap sequel show and Just Like Crap. I reviewed every single episode of that too. So I know my Sex and the City. I know my Sex and the City. Okay? And they had a character, Smith Jarrett, who was dating, 45-year-old Samantha? 48-year-old Samantha? Something like 47-year-old Samantha, something like that. And this guy was 22? Super good-looking guy with a fucking 47-year-old? Are you kidding me? And he was in love with her? Are you fucking kidding me? And the show never once mentioned that it's not possible that he would have only been dating this older woman because she was a publicist. She did PR. And she boosted his career. She turned him into a famous actor, to a movie star. Because she was fucking him. And she liked him so much that she decided to help his career. You know, she got him like an ad for Absolute Vodka that was on Times Square. And that opened the doors to a bunch of other acting opportunities. Okay, so she created him. Okay, and at no point does Sex and the City ever mention that the only reason he was fucking her was because she was helping his career. No, can't have that. It's because he was in love with her. He was legitimately in love with her. Are you out of your freaking mind? This guy was a fucking Ken doll, okay? He would have lots and lots of pussy throwing, and men too, throwing themselves at him. And he settled down for butt ugly 47-year-old Samantha? Are you fucking kidding me? Because he loved her? Are you out of your fucking mind? Samantha had more bodies than fucking Hitler. Men are not attracted to that. High value men are not attracted to that. Low value men don't care because they know they can't get better. See what I mean? But high value men, they get the best of the best. Okay? And they're not going to be with a woman, okay, who has smoked more meat than Hickory Farms. And I know no TV show's going to tell you this, no movie's going to tell you this, no romance novel, no talk show, no fucking feminist bullshit podcast. They're not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you this, and this is honest God truth, okay? Because I actually give you the respect, ladies. I talk to you like I would talk to a fucking man, okay? Like I would talk to a fucking man. Because you need to know this stuff, okay? Okay, I review chick flicks, and I keep seeing the same shit over and over again, okay? They don't want to tell you the stuff that I'm telling you right now. Okay, but this is the stuff that men, we think about this stuff. We think about this stuff. Now, most women don't really care how many bodies a guy has, okay? In fact, women like men that have high body counts because that means that other women are attracted to him. And women want to be with a man that can pull a lot of ass, okay? Because they think that if I'm the official girlfriend or the official wife, that means that I competed with all these women and I'm the winner. I'm the one that got them. You see, that's how women look at it. Okay, men do not look at it that way at all. Okay? When a man, puts a ring on a woman who has fucked a shitload of guys, he doesn't think he's the winner. He doesn't think he's the winner. He's the fucking joke. He is the joke. And I've been to a wedding like that before, okay? I've been to a wedding once, okay? Where there was two, I found out at the wedding, I found this out, okay? My friend, a girl, she was getting married, okay? And she invited me to the wedding because we know each other a long time. Okay, and I got to the wedding, and I met some other guys that were there too, and I found out that two of the other guys that were there, I'd never met them before, okay? Because when I knew her, she lived like where I lived, and then she moved away, and I moved away. But she invited me for the wedding, so I went to the wedding. I was there. And there I met two other guys that were her friends. And it turns out all three of us had already fucked her. Okay? All three of us. Okay, did we look at her groom and think like, oh my God, dude, a lucky guy. You know, we tried and she didn't pick us. She picked him. Better luck selecting. Do you think we cried about it or anything? No, we fucking did not. We laughed. We laughed about it. We laughed at that guy, the groom. We laughed at him. Okay? Because he's marrying a fucking whore. Okay? Hey, I liked her. Okay? I liked her, but she's a fucking whore. Okay? And before you judge me for saying that, okay? How many guys have you fucking slept with? Okay? That were married or had girlfriends, right? Exactly. Okay? So don't fucking throw your fucking insults at me, okay? That's the pot calling the kettle black, all right? So don't give me none of your moralistic crap, all right? But yeah, and what I did was typical men, okay? Okay? No guy wants to be the guy that married the bicycle, okay? No guy wants to be that, okay? No guy wants to pay top dollar for something that all the other men in that room got for free. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a joke, okay? It's valueless. It has no value. That's why high value men don't do it. They're not going to marry a fucking whore, okay? They're not going to marry a single mom because that's just a badge telling everybody around in their social circle, hey, listen, this is what I had to settle for, okay? I couldn't even get my own. I had to, get someone else's. You see what I mean? And that's not good. That's not something men aspire towards. It's not what we work hard for. Okay? And I know in these movies, these chick flicks they're gonna elevate the single mom. They're gonna elevate all that shit. Okay? Like they're the prize. You're not the fucking prize. Okay? Ladies, you need to understand something, okay? You're not the fucking prize. Okay? And I'm not saying this from a position of not liking women. I love women to death. Okay? But we are different. We are equal, but we are different. Okay? And men, we have our own problems. Don't get me wrong. We got a lot of problems, okay? But that's what I'm talking about right now. Okay? We are raised to believe, okay, that it is our job to provide and protect for our family. That includes our wife and our children. Okay? So we can't depend on our looks to make us successful in life. We can't do that. Okay? We can't go into a bar and our looks are going to get women to buy us drinks. Okay, that's not going to happen. We don't live in that world. There's a few guys that can pull that off. Okay, those guys are so freaking rare. Okay, I'm talking about the typical guy. We can't do that. We actually have to provide value for a woman to like us. We have to bring something to the table, or else a woman is not going to be attracted to us. You see what I mean? That's the difference. That's the difference. Okay, we have to already have some sort of value, or else we are going to be jerking off for the rest of our life. Okay, you see what I mean? That's the friggin' difference, okay? And that's something women don't understand because they don't live our lives. They don't know what it's like to be a man. Okay, but these stupid ass movies, like The Housemaid, tell you what it's like to be a man, what you need to be in order to be a man. Women love to define what a real man is, despite the fact that they've never been one. They don't freaking understand. You see what I mean? They don't freaking understand. But they're more than willing to tell us what a real man is. Get the fuck out of here, okay? You know, you don't know what a real man is, okay? You don't know what we go through, okay? Because you never spend any time thinking about what we're going through. Only what you're going through. And vice versa. I'm not saying that men are better, okay? I'm not saying that men are better, okay? But when you see guys screwing up, you know, trying and fumbling and making fools of themselves, okay, in order to please a woman, okay, at least they're fucking trying. At least they are trying. You see what I mean? They are trying. Yeah, I mean, they're failing mostly, yes, but they are trying. That means they give a shit. That means they care. They want to make you happy, okay? But they don't know how to do it, okay? They don't know how to do it. And women don't give a shit if the guy tries. They only care whether he succeeds or not. That's it, okay? There's a saying, during a race, women stand at the finish line waiting for the winner, okay? And that's the truth. They don't see all the hard work, the struggle, the pain that men had to go through to accomplish what they have. They don't see that. They just look for success because that's what turns them on. Okay? Now, everything I said, I'm not saying that to say that women are all evil or nothing. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that we're different and that we look for different things. Okay? Us men, we look at things too. And you probably think that, and in fact, I know most of you think that that's misogynistic, okay, and sexist, okay, and how dare you, okay? But hey, you know what? It works both ways. It works both ways, all right? And, The Housemaid is just another example of this. Another example of, gender roles. Men bad, women good, all that stuff. Men stupid, women smart. Men cowards, women brave. It's the same crap, okay? We've been getting for the past like 50, 60 years. Like, there's nothing new about this shit. It's one of the reasons no one's going to the movies anymore. Okay, this movie actually made a lot of money. Okay, it's on streaming now, but so it's at almost $400 million. Okay, so it's doing good for a low budget, chick flick. It's doing very well. Unfortunately, now we're gonna get more Housemaid movies, but yeah, that's what this is. That's what this is. So I hope you ladies enjoy it, and we'll see what happens when the sequel comes out. I really don't want to review the sequel. I didn't really want to review this, man. It was a chore to get through this. Okay, I've had to sit through this entire movie taking notes. It is a chore and a half. My God, The Housemaid. And there was so much I had to write down because this movie's so freaking ridiculous. Not the worst movie I've ever seen, but it's ridiculous and it makes no sense at all. All right. So where did we leave off last time? Okay. So Andrew is locked in the attic room now, where he has locked his victims before. Somehow Millie, one-upped him. Okay. She got him locked in there. She escaped. Okay. And she escaped with his cell phone. By the way, his cell phone does not have a PIN or facial recognition or nothing. She can just turn it on and automatically access his emails, his DMs, his apps, everything. He can just automatically access all of that without having to type in a PIN or nothing like that. Right. So anyway, so she's using that to her advantage. Okay. She tells him to pull out his tooth. She wants to hurt him because he's very proud of his smile. His mom says that his smile is like, if charm was a weapon, or if charm was a weapon, then a smile, then your smile would be its sword or some shit like that. Whatever. Anyway, so he's very proud of his smile. So she decided to get revenge on him for locking her up and abusing her. She decided to compel him to pull out his tooth with some pliers, and he did. Okay, so she kept the tooth, and she says, "I'll be back tomorrow." He's like, "Get me out of here!" You know, she stabbed him in the neck, but you know he's not even bleeding from there anymore, which is ridiculous. He should have bled to death by now. Okay, but anyway, so she goes downstairs that evening. Millie, there's a man cave down there. That's where Andrew likes to watch Family Feud and get drunk and jerk off to gay porn. Okay, well now it's hers. Okay, because Andrew's wife Nina, he kicked her out of the house already a long time ago. Okay, it turns out Nina planned all this. She wanted Millie, the housemaid, to seduce her husband. She wanted her husband to kick her out of the house so that he could be with Millie. She wanted all this stuff. She did it on purpose. Okay, so now Millie's there by herself. She's down in the man cave. Okay, she's getting drunk and she's watching Amadeus, that movie, Amadeus, with F. Murray Abraham. By this time, she has been free for like a day. Okay, so she was held prisoner for like 3 days or something. Okay, she had a little bit of water, but no food, no bathroom. She had to piss in a bucket. Okay, so now she's fed herself and she's getting drunk, and she's had enough time to to pull out the expensive china and break it, which would anger Andrew, compel Andrew to pull out his tooth, all that kind of stuff. She's done all that. Okay, and now she's downstairs getting drunk. Okay, watching, she can watch Andrew because there's a camera inside that room that Andrew put there. So and she's got the app, so she can see everything that's going on in that room. She can see Andrew there, so she's not worried about him. Okay. Now, like I said, Millie was locked up in there for like 3 or 4 days, and during that time, he told her that he would not let her out unless she cut herself 21 times. Okay, because she broke some china dishes and she broke a dish into 21 pieces. So he wants her to carve her skin for every single piece that she broke. Okay, and she did it. She did it. So she's starving. She's dehydrated. She's scared. She's anxious, and now she's mutilated herself because this guy forced her to. Okay, so that means that she's covered in. She's dirty. She's filthy. She's covered in blood. Okay, her hair is all nappy. It's mixed with sweat and dirt. Okay, so I'm sure she looks and smells like shit. Okay, and she got blood because she stabbed Andrew in the neck during her escape, and she got his blood all over her. Okay, so she's down there, and the first thing I noticed is that while she's down there getting drunk and watching Amadeus, she already fed herself and she already drank some water because she was, like I said, she was dehydrated and hungry, but she did not fucking take a shower. So here she is in the house with her captive up there. Okay, you got all those broken dishes in front of the door. Okay, and she didn't even fucking take a shower. She is still nappy and nasty looking. Okay, she's covered in blood and dirt and sweat. Her clothes are filthy. They're covered in blood. She has not done a goddamn thing. She's living in her filth and getting shit-faced. Not calling the cops, saying that this guy locked her up in the attic room for no, she ain't doing that. Nope. Because that would get in the way of her revenge. All right. So she's in the man cave, drunk and watching Amadeus. She's watching Andrew on her phone. Nina arrives. Now Nina pulls up further down the street, okay? And then she gets out. Okay, and Nina, okay, does not have her daughter Cece with her. Okay, so where the fuck's Cece? We don't know. But Nina arrived. Now, Nina is the reason that Millie's in this situation to begin with. Nina conned Millie into giving her a job as the housemaid, knowing that her husband is a torturing psychopath and that he was going to do the same thing to Millie. She knew that, but she thought it was okay because she needed to escape from her abusive husband. And the only way to escape with her daughter is if she found her replacement, a naive young woman. Okay, and that's what she did. Okay, and she knew that Millie had just gotten out of the prison for murdering a guy, a rapist. Okay, she murdered him while he was in the middle of a rape. Okay, now normally that would be like he was protecting a girl, right? But no, the girl lied, and everyone believed that she killed him in cold blood. So she took a plea deal for manslaughter. She got a 15-year sentence. She's done 10 years. Okay, and now she's out on parole. But if she's caught unemployed, then they will put her back in prison to fill out the remaining 5 years of her sentence. Okay, now in the meantime, once she got out, what was the first thing she did? She got a job at a bar where she beat the shit out of the owner of the bar because he was touchy-feely with one of the waitresses. She didn't tell him to stop. She didn't warn him. She didn't threaten the HR, nothing like that. She just fucking hit him with a bottle of fucking tequila. And did he report her to the fucking authorities for assault? Did he report her to her parole officer? No, he did not. She just quit on her own and got a job as a housemaid. You see what I mean? Taking care of a woman, her husband, and her little girl in a very expensive multi-million-dollar mansion. Okay, so that's going on here. Nina shows up in the middle of the night. She already knows the code to the gate because even though Andrew kicked her out of the house, he never changed the code to the gate. So she uses it and walks right in. Okay, he has no pin on his phone. Okay. So that's going on here, okay? Nina runs into the house. Why? Because it's unlocked. I mean, why would you lock up $1 million house, at like 3, 4 in the morning? Right? She just walked right in. Which means that after Andrew kicked her out of the house, he didn't even change the locks. See what I'm talking about? All right. So that's going on here. Okay. Nina runs up to the house and she sees a light on in the attic room. Okay. Now Nina knows where the attic room is from outside because she was a prisoner there way before Millie ever showed up. Okay. So she knows what it's like to be a prisoner in that room. And she looks up and there's a light in there that tells her that someone is locked up in that attic room. Okay. The way she was locked up. Okay. So she immediately assumes that it's Millie, the housemaid. Andrew locked up Millie in there, is torturing her in there. So now Nina, who, even despite the fact that she put Millie in this situation on purpose, now she just grew a conscience and decided she needed to go in, sneak in there and rescue Millie. Okay? Now here's what I don't fucking understand. There's no fucking electricity in that fucking attic room. Okay? There is no electricity in there. So how the fuck did Nina see a light in the attic room to signal to her that someone is up there? Because when Nina was a prisoner up there, and when Millie was a prisoner up there was no fucking electricity. Andrew took out all the lamps. This movie doesn't even fucking understand itself. Right now, Andrew is locked up in that attic room, and there's no fucking electricity. Okay. Millie passes out downstairs on the couch, okay, because she's drunk. And like I said, she didn't take a shower. She's still covered in Andrew's blood and her own, secretions, because she did have to use the bathroom up there. She had to piss in a bucket and stuff. Maybe she took a shit too. And what did she use for toilet paper? Exactly. There was no toilet paper up there. So you see what I mean? And she's still wearing the exact same outfit. Okay? Piss stained, shit stained, dirt, blood. She's still got blood all over her, on her face, on her head. Yeah. Okay. So she passes out drunk, looking like that. Okay? Nina sneaks in the house because, like I said, the doors are all open and Andrew never changed the locks. Okay? So Nina goes straight upstairs, okay, to where the attic room is, okay? And Millie wakes up and looks at her phone, okay? Because that's how she monitors Andrew in the room. She looks at her phone, okay? And guess what? She sees it's empty. It's empty. There's no one in the attic room. So now Millie's like, did Andrew escape somehow? Was that the noise I just heard? So she decides she's going to slowly walk from the basement to the top of the house, which is, I think it's like 5 or 6 stories. Okay? 5 or 6, something like that. Okay? Slowly. Okay, so that's going on. But obviously, you know, since Nina already got a head start, Nina's already up there. Okay? So Nina sees all these broken dishes, the expensive Chinaware that Andrew loves so much. She sees it all smashed in front of the door. Okay, and she sees all the gasoline on the floor as well. And she assumes that Millie is locked up in that room. Well, guess what? Okay, when Nina got kicked out of the house, she had just enough time to walk a few feet and grab her purse and then walk out the door. Well, apparently, Nina had a key to that closet room, that attic room, in her purse, because she pulls out the key, I guess. Oh, no, she didn't. The key was already in the lock. That's right. The key was already in the lock. So when Millie locked Andrew in there, she left the keys in there, in the lock, so that any motherfucker can walk up there and unlock the doors. Because that's what you do when you're holding someone hostage. You just leave the doors unlocked from the outside so that anybody can just go in there and then free them. Makes sense, right? Yeah, okay. All right. So that's going on here. Okay. Nina never asks if Millie is okay first, okay? She never knocks on the door and says, Millie, are you okay? Okay? For all she knows, Millie could be dead. She doesn't do that at all. She just blindly opens the door. She just opens the door. Millie, it's Nina. Are you alive? Are you alive? If you are, tap on the door. Say something. Millie, it's Nina. Answer me. Nope, that thought never occurs to her. She just, gasoline on the floor, broken dishes everywhere. Okay, I'm going to let her out. That's what happens. Millie hears this and slowly walks up the stairs as Nina unlocks the door. Uh-oh. So Millie's like, Nina, what are you doing? Well, it's too late. Because Andrew immediately slams open the door. He sees Nina there, his wife, and he grabs her and throws her down 2 flights of stairs. Because it takes 2 flights of stairs to get up to that attic room. Throws her down 2 flights of stairs. Then he jumps on top of her and starts hitting her. You fucking bitch! You knew she was gonna lock me up! You knew she was gonna manipulate me and trick me and hurt me and stab me! You knew she was gonna do that, you fucking bitch! Yeah, exactly. I'm not kidding. He says that. He says that to his wife. Well, what I want to know is, why the fuck didn't he know she was going to do that? Oh, you know why he didn't know that Millie was going to turn the tables on him and lock him up instead and torture him instead? You know why he didn't know that? Because he never fucking bothered to do a background check. When they hired her as a housemaid, he never fucking checked. And when he found out that she had a criminal record and that she'd been in prison for 10 years, he never once tried to find out what the fuck she went to prison for. Because if he had, he would have found out that she likes to murder rapists. But that thought never occurred to him. Okay. So anyway, all this is going on, okay? Millie smashes a vase on his head. While he's beating up Nina, she grabs a vase and smashes his head with it. She likes to do that. Okay, and then she runs away. So he goes after her down the stairs. He grabs her. They start wrestling on the stairwell right there. He's behind her trying to choke her out, whatever. Okay, she bites his arm. That makes him let go of her. Okay, and then she punches him 50 times right here on the neck. This is where she stabbed him. I know he's not bleeding there anymore, but she stabbed him with a cake cutter that was like this long. Stabbed him with it. That's how she escaped from that room. And then apparently it just stopped bleeding. Well, by itself, right? And right here. Anyway, so now she's punching him there. And of course, him being a strong, tough man, angry, murderous man who's been locked up for like over a day now in this room. All he's been thinking about is revenge and killing Millie. What does he do? He's just like, oh. And lets her fucking hit him 50 times. He's just like, oh. Like that. How the hell are these movie makers supposed to make me believe that this guy's a serious fucking threat? When my own kid sister can kick his ass. My younger sister can beat the shit out of this guy. Yet I'm supposed to believe that he's a threat to these women? Okay, so that's going on here. Okay. And then she runs away. After she punches him 50 times, he lets her do it, of course. Then she runs away. Okay. He decides to walk after her, not run after her, walk after her. Okay. The front door is still wide open. Okay. Because, I guess Millie ran outside and left the door open. So he walks out. He walks out there, not runs. Walks out there. Okay. Got blood all over his face, blood all over his wife beater, which is surgically attached to his body at all times during this movie. Okay. Missing a tooth. All that kind of stuff. It looks like shit. He runs out there and he's laughing and screaming for Millie. He's like, ah, ha, 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 Millie! Where are you, babe? Millie, where the fuck are you? Like that. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Okay, yeah, okay. He runs out there laughing and screaming for Millie. He kicks the door closed when he walks back in the house because Millie disappeared somehow. Okay, he's like, come on, Millie, where are you, babe? Will you come out? The fuck out, baby! Millie, get the fuck out here! So he runs upstairs when he hears Nina scream. Okay, so now he runs up 4 flights of stairs. Okay, and what's Nina doing when he gets up there? Well, she ain't screaming anymore. She's just standing there over the balcony, just looking down. Like she's just like taking a break, Just standing there like, oh, I'm bored. I'm just gonna stand here. So she's standing right there in front of the spiral staircase. She's holding onto the rail, acting as if her life is not in fucking danger or anything. I mean, her husband did throw her down the stairs a few seconds ago and started beating her. And now she's just standing there like, oh, everything's cool. I'm just going to hang out here and, get my breath. Just look into the empty stairwell and just like daydream or something, Just everything's cool. Like that, okay? No sense of urgency. No looking for a weapon or looking for a way out. Or screaming for help. Or grabbing her phone and calling 911. Nothing like that at all. Just standing there like she's bored. Oh God, I'm just gonna hang out here. Just look around. Yeah. Anyway, he says like, I guess you came back for nothing, Nina. Well, look, I'm sorry, okay? I fucked up real bad, okay? And I can admit when I'm wrong, and you know that. So now he's trying to sweet talk her, okay? He's trying to I can't do any more of this, okay? This movie's pissing me off. All right, I'm gonna finish this movie tomorrow, okay? I'm gonna do the last video. I'm gonna get it out to you, but I can't take any more of this shit. This movie fucking sucks ass. Okay, it sucks ass. All right. I do thank you for watching this video today, and watching as long as you did. And I will see you soon in the next one. All right, bye.